Chuck succumbs to the Brood, Katie succumbs to sickness, Rogue succumbs to guilt, and Storm succumbs to vampirism. Again, all that and more this week on reading every X-Men comic ever. This week was all Uncanny X-Men, reading issues 167 through 173, as well as throwing X-Men Annual number 6 in there as well. All around, these issues were pretty good. The weakest one, in my opinion, was the Annual, just because of how disconnected it was from everything else, and I'm just not a big vampire guy. The Annual itself has Storm getting summoned by Dracula so he can use her to steal the Darkhold. However, she is interrupted by Kitty Pryde, who was actually possessed by Dracula's daughter Lilith. The remaining X-Men arrive to aid in the fight against Dracula, but they don't really do anything. Dracula instead is actually taken out by the last of the Van Helsings, who then decides to die. Now we can move on to the main series. It starts with the last issue of the Brood arc, which has the X-Men finally return to Earth to free Chuck from his Brood disease, but they're too late, and Chuck's already gone. They easily defeat the Chuck Brood, and are able to transfer Chuck's mind to a new clone body, complete with working legs. Also, they meet the New Mutants. Speaking of the New Mutants, Chuck has ordered Kitty over to that team, but she isn't taking it very well, and tries everything she can to convince Charles to change his mind. It is only after she discovers and deals with a nest of alien spiders does he eventually relent and give her probationary X-Men status. Enter the Morlocks, a society of mutants living in the sewer system underneath New York. Their leader, Callisto, has kidnapped Angel and wants to marry him for no other reason than pure desire. The X-Men try multiple times to escape and fight back, but there's just too many Morlocks and not enough space. There's also a mutant named Plague who can make you deathly sick from one touch, which isn't helping. This is what's happened to Kitty Pryde. And while Caliban, who has found her in the sewers, has done what he can, she will die without proper medical treatment. So Storm challenges Callisto to a duel to the death, and the winner becomes leader of the Morlocks. Storm stabs the bitch, and the X-Men take Angel and Kitty and leave. Meanwhile, Scott stumbled upon a bunch of weird coincidences revolving around his new love interest, Madeline Pryor. Not only does she look like Jean Grey's twin, but she's also the only survivor of a plane crash that happened on the exact same date and time as Jean Grey's death. Also, she knew his favorite breakfast. Back in Westchester, Rogue surprisingly arrives at the X-Mansion looking for Charles for help. You see, she's having identity troubles, and is unable to tell if her thoughts are her own or those of the persona she's absorbed from Carol. Speaking of, guess who arrives back at the X-Mansion? After hitting Rogue with her atmospheric uppercut, Carol is informed that Rogue is now the newest X-Man, and she isn't thrilled about it. In fact, the X-Men aren't thrilled either. But Chuck reminds them that their mission as X-Men is to help all willing mutants, not just the ones they haven't punched yet. From there, the X-Men, including Rogue, head to Japan to celebrate Wolverine's marriage to Mariko Yoshida. But they don't get that far, thanks to an interruption from the Silver Samurai and Viper. Storm saves Mariko with help from Yukio, but loses control of her powers in the process. With the rest of the X-Men poisoned, Wolverine and Rogue are the only two standing thanks to their healing factors. They fend off ninjas and the Silver Samurai until they all retreat. Everyone recovers in time for Wolverine's wedding. Unfortunately, Logan doesn't quite get the happy ending we were expecting. And on that disappointment, that's the end of the recap for these issues. The rankings for each issue should be on screen now, but like I said at the beginning, these issues of Uncanny X-Men were pretty good. There were lots of surprises, especially Rogue joining the X-Men this early, and a lot of fun moments. Personally, I really liked the relationship between Kitty and Ileana, although I didn't really mention it, but I have also been really enjoying Storm's character development. It's just been super interesting to follow, and I think it's been threaded into the main plots very well. Next week is fully New Mutants, and I'm so excited. See you then.